Hi, I'm Carlos Diaz, Library Associate at St. John the Baptist Parish Library, and this is a book talk. Today's book talk is James by Percival Everett, a brilliant, action packed reimagining of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn, both harrowing and ferociously funny, told from the enslaved Jim's point of view. When the enslaved Jim overhears that he's about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, separated from his wife and daughter forever, he decides to hide on nearby Jackson Island until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck faked his own death to escape his violent father. As all readers of classic American literature know, thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the mighty Mississippi toward the elusive and not often unreliable promise of the Free States and beyond. While many narrative set pieces of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn remain in place, such as floods and storms, stumbling across both unexpected death and unexpected treasure in the myriad stopping points along the river's banks, encountering the scam artist posing as Duke and Dauphine, Jim's agency, intelligence, and compassion are shown in a radically new light. The themes explored are agency, voice, and storytelling. If you allow me to, I just want to read some of the advanced praise from this great novel. James. Majestic, this is Everett's most thrilling novel, but also his most soulful. James is intensely imagined human being. A masterpiece that will help redefine one of the classics of American literature, while also being a major achievement on its own. A provocative and enlightening work of literary art. Funny and horrifying, brilliant and riveting. We should read this book, every single person in this country. James both honors and interrogates Huck Finn, along with a nation that reveres it. Pure brilliance, funny, wise, graceful, this may be Everett's best book yet. A work of astonishing ambition, even audacity. This is writing that demands to be read. It's magnificent. This brilliant novel rewrites literary history to let us hear voices that have long been suppressed. And that's it. What we have here is a great, it's a retelling, and it's not a revisionist history. We hear a lot of that going on in the media and stuff, but this is a retelling, but it's from the point of view of James, which was one of the main characters in the original masterpiece that is the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which was written in the late 19th century and written by Mark Twain from the perspective of Huck and Finn, which The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is actually the sequel to The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Now, this book, James, it smartly and rightfully gives James his voice, his agency, and it's really creative storytelling at its very best. It it puts you in there immediately from the first chapter you start reading. You can feel the mosquitoes biting on the back of your neck, the humidity, the long days, the waiting and waiting and waiting that a slave had to do during that era, waiting for things to happen, and the language. It's not only excellent, it's unique. And while James, he's a very smart man. He speaks in a certain vernacular, in a certain colloquial terms when spoken dialogue. But then when he's speaking to you, the reader, he speaks with such an eloquent vocabulary that lets you know that this person is quite ingenious, and it's quite a sight to behold. There's adventure, there's action, there's drama, of course, and there's that beautiful symbolism that is the mighty Mississippi. And, we live right next to it here in St. John the Baptist Parish. Just a quick anecdote, I used to work at Edgard across the river, and I used to have to drive over a bridge. And every now and then I would pull over to the shoulder and just take a look at the commerce, all the barges and ships on the mighty Mississippi. And every now and then I would imagine Huck and Jim on that raft as they would let the powerful currents just guide them toward a redemption and freedom. Um, and then that's it. And that's it. That's what literature is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to make you um, give you a different perspective on things, and it should challenge you too. And I challenge you to read this book, James. It's we have two copies readily available to check out the print edition at your library. There's also you can go on Libby and get notified when a copy becomes available at on Libby. I get a chance to plug it. It's free with your library card there. So if you're looking for a book that will challenge you, and look, it's not that many pages. It barely makes it to 300 pages. It's a little bit under 300 pages, but it's a quick read. You can definitely read it in about a week or so. Um, it's fast paced. The action is excellent. The dialogue is superior. The story, the magic of storytelling, the agency that it gives the character, and the voice that it gives the voiceless. Because we know history is written by the winners, and in some cases, those the voices that didn't win didn't get a chance to tell their story. This time it does. It is by far one of the best books of the year. I highly recommend it. I give it one of my best recommendations that I can give on a book talk. It is something that is reaffirming you of the power of literature. So thank you very much. This is Carlos Diaz, and this is a book talk.